Hello everyone, this is Pankaj Kumar, professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, SR University, Warangal. Today I am going to discuss about the stereolithography process. In this, we are going to discuss about the how development of product is taking place, what are the different steps is required, what are the process parameter of the process. Similarly, I am also going to discuss about the applications of this additive manufacturing techniques. So let me start with our slide. So here you can see that light is passing on the some liquid surface. So here in this process, liquid is used as the raw material. So on that raw material, light will pass. So this is not a simple light, it is the special light called as the UV light, ultraviolet light. That if that light passes on the special type of the liquid material, and that are having the capability of the QV, means when this light will pass on the liquid surface, that time photosynthesis process will take on this process, and then solidification of the process will take place. Solidification of the material will be taking place. This is not a new technology. This technology was developed in 1980s by Charles Hulse. That time, stereolithography process was developed, and layer upon layer development of the material was taking place. Now, from that time to present time, lot of development take place, and the scientists and researchers has worked on that. So many development, and they came with new technology, and that are more precise and more accessible, more like affordable and scalable at the present age. So you can see that from the 1980 to till now, lot of development taking place, and then that technology still is in development process also. So that so as till now we know that this technology is not used for the mass production as compared to conventional manufacturing technology. So unless until this will come into the mass production, so this will keep continuing in the development phase itself. So that's why people are like updating with the technologies, and they are coming with a new idea to get near to the mass production. Taking care of the total machine. So this is the build platform. So this build platform, here the layer upon level layer development or solidification of this liquid material or liquid resin will be taking place. So this resin will be photo curable, means once the light of UV kind will fall upon this surface, so solidification of or photosynthesis will take place on that resin material, and then layer upon layer solidification of that liquid material will be taking place, and the part will be getting developed. And this is the film resin tank. So in that resin tank, whatever the liquid resin or photo curable resin are used, that will be poured in the sufficient quantity, so that as per the part requirement or part design and dimension, the printing will be taken with the sufficient material. And this will be also having the provision of the airflow to prevent the suction and minimize the uh, like peel forces, means the peel forces effect will be minimized. So similarly, this is the LPU, light processing unit. In that unit, the UV kind of the laser light will pass, or can be generated to the, and it will focus on the liquid surface, and then from that light the solidification or conversion of photosynthesis process will be taking place. And the bottom one is the like backlight unit, and that unit are nothing but the LED lights will be there. From that LED light, so a special kind of the UV light will be converted. Now, as we know that in 3D printing process, there are different stages are required or steps are required. Generally, the seven, as previously also we have discussed about there are 7 steps in the 3D printing process. What are those 7 steps? So first step is that CAD design. So whatever the part is required to get printed, first we have to design the CAD model of that part. So you can see that here the digital design. Digital design is nothing but the design of the CAD model of the product, final product what we required. After that, that CAD model will be sent to the special file format, that is STL file format is required. Means you have to save your file format in STL file format, then only that STL file format will be acceptable for the slicing operation. So in that slicing operation, layer upon layer slicing of the part to be that part or design will be done, so that the development of the product will be also taking layer upon layer. So whatever the one layer thickness divided in the like slicing operation, so that layer with that thickness only will be printed on that layer height. So after that, once slicing is done, after that that slice complete information will be saved in the after slicing operation, and that information will be given to the machine, and once that machine will be received the complete detail about each layer, means how the our printing head will be moving in the x direction, how printing head will be moving in the y direction, similarly our build platform moving in the z direction. So what is the one layer height thickness, so complete information will be given in the slicing operation, and that information will be given in the steel slicing operation, and it will be saved with the G code, M code, and X coordinate, Y coordinate, and Z coordinate. Complete detail for each layer information will be there, and that will be sent to the machine itself. After that, the machine will be loaded with the required material, and you have to do the parameter setting of the machine also. Means what is the printing speed, scanning speed, what is the layer height, this all printing parameter setting will be done. After that it will go start the printing. Once it is the start printing, no human power is required. That's why it is written unattended printing, means no human intervention is required during the printing process, only just for the surface observation, whether the power is on, material is sufficient or not, machine is working or not. For that observation, manpower is required. Otherwise, there will be no requirement of any manpower. Once printing is taking place or completed, after that, that part has to be removed from the build platform. Yes. So from the build platform, the part will be taking, and that will be uncured. So that printed part have to given to the for the curing process. Before that, part has to be properly cleaned. As we know that it is the liquid resin surface, resin material. So that resin will be properly cleaned. So that printed part will be uh, washed properly, and after that it will be washed in the isopropyl alcohol, and then it will be removed, and it will be sent to the again UV curing process, so that part having the proper sufficient strength, hardness, and it may be having the as per the mechanical strength, mechanical properties as per the requirement.
Once the liquid thermoset resin is loaded in the vat and the digital instructions are programmed, the laser unit directs an ultraviolet beam to a reflective mirror. From there, a galvomotor system steers the focused beam to the resin surface. First, the laser draws layers of the support structures, followed by actual part geometry. After a layer is imaged on the resin surface, an elevator system shifts the build platform down, and a recoater blade moves across the platform to apply the next layer of resin. The process is repeated layer by layer until the build is complete. Need quality 3D printed parts? Get an instant quote today at Proto Labs.
Photopolymerization of the liquid resin. So in this photopolymerization process, the liquid will pass through the photosynthesis light, that process that like we are calling as that monomer conversion to polymer material. So in this photosynthesis process will be taking place, and then from that liquid to solid conversion will be taking place. So once this monomer unit or monomer, that is a liquid material, will go through that. One second. So once this monomer will pass through the light process or UV light, and then it will be converted to the polymer. So this process is called as the photopolymerization or simple polymerization. Means monomer unit to polymer conversion is called as the polymerization process. So here in this process also photopolymerization is taking place because we are using the light source of the energy, and that light source of energy will pass on the or fall on the liquid surface, and that liquid surface will convert to the solid surface. So this process is called as the photopolymerization process. So in this process, here in this initially monomer liquid surface will be there, and then in that liquid oligomer will be mixed, and then light will pass, so that during the process the this combination will be taking place or bonding will be taking place between the monomer unit, so that it will make the complete big chain. So monomer, different monomer unit will be combined together, and it will make the big chain of the polymer process. That's why you can see that N is the 75,000 or more. So here the single unit will combine together, and that linked chain is more than 75,000. That many you can think that. So in this way, photopolymerization process will be taking place. Now coming to the steps of the 3D printing process. So there are various steps in the 3D printing process, as we discussed earlier also. In 3D printing process, as this is also one of the 3D printing process, so here it also has to be followed the same steps, whatever the steps or like process chain of the additive manufacturing. Same process chain will be also followed in this 3D printing process also. So here first CAD design of the model is required. So first CAD design will be done using some CAD software like CATIA, SolidWorks, Fusion 360, Creo. These are the different solid. These are the different. These are the different CAD design softwares. Once CAD design is ready, after that it will be sent to the slicing operation, where the layer upon layer division will be taking place. So solid model will be sliced in the different layers. So that layer by layer building will be taking place in that way itself. So each layer having 0.1, 0.2 or whatever the layer thickness you are defining during the slicing operation. That many thickness and that many parts are sliced will be divided. After that, that slice information will be sent to the machine, and in that machine layer upon layer will be taking place. Before that, so we have to fill the resin in the tank. So resin tank will be there. In that resin tank, we have to fill upon the whatever the tank dimension is there in that 10 dimension. After that, curing will be taking place. Curing means here the photosynthesis process will be taking, or photopolymerization will be taking place, and from that polymerization, liquid to solid conversion will be taking place for each layer, for each slice layer. So in this way, how many layer are there? So that many layer slicing done, and then printing will be also taking place. Once part is printed, after that you have to take the part or semi cured part from the build platform, and then it has to be cleaned properly. Yes, so after removal of the part from the build platform, you have to rinse the part with the uncured resin, so that proper cleaning will be taking place, and then after that only that printed part or removed or cleaned object will be, or cleaned part will be sent to the UV light, so that curing will be taking place. During the curing press, earlier also we have discussed about the it will gain, or part will gain the proper strength and hardness. For that purpose, once your part is cured, after that you have to take the remove the support structure, which is maybe sometimes in some cases support structure will be generated. That support structure has to be removed, as we know that support structure will be not part of the our part, so our product, so it has to be removed, and that is unwanted. Sometimes we require support structure, that also having some guidelines. As per the guidelines only support structure will be given, and it will be generated on the part itself. And after that, if semi sometimes finishing is required, or to remove or improve the surface finishing process, so surface finishing you have to perform, and after that your part will be ready. So here it is one of the schematic representation of the our process. So in that you can see that here the part is first designed in the model CAD software. So this is the one computer in that schematic representation is presented here, and then once your CAD model is ready, and after that slicing operation will be done, and in that slicing operation STL file format conversion will be taking place, and then once STL file format taking place, and then you have to go for the slicing operation. Once slicing operation is done, after that you have to go for the printing of the part layer upon layer. So you can say that first layer, second layer, third layer, like that. How many layer is required? That many layer building will be taking place, and this is the final built layer. So in this way, printing of the part is taking place. Now coming to the our stereolithography apparatus equipment. So it, as earlier we have discussed about, it belongs to the VAT photopolymerization family. So VAT is nothing but the liquid material. So it belongs to the printing process in which liquid material will be used as the raw material. So that's why its name is given VAT photopolymerization family. So in short, we are calling the SLA process. So in this process, like similar to the other 3D printing process, object is created selectively curing photopolymer resin layer upon layer using ultraviolet laser beam. So here laser beam is used as the UV light. Yes. So in this phase process, so building will be taking place, and material used in the SLA are photosensitive thermoset polymer that come in the liquid form. Yes. So from this schematic diagram, you can see that this is our build platform, and over this build platform, layer upon layer, that is in blue color, the dark blue color is printed layers as per the given diagram or dimensions. Yes, so this is the build platform, and this is the cured layer. This means solidified layer, and then UV curable resin. This is the light blue color UV resin, and over that resin the liquid laser source is passed, and then after the photopolymerization process, the layer upon layer solidification will be taking place. Now coming to the elevator. Elevator is nothing but once one layer printing taking place, after that this elevator will come down, so that fresh liquid will come on the printed surface, and then same process will be repeated again and again once one layer is printed. So this will be. Now coming to the XY scanning mirror. XY scanning mirror is nothing but, as we know that it is not one dimensional printing process, it is three dimensional printing process. Third dimension is nothing but the z axis. That axis moment will be given by this stage. That stage will be moving in the downward direction. In some 3D printing process, it can be moving in the upward direction. So it depends upon the how machine configuration are done for the z direction. Now coming for the x and y dimension like layers, so it has to move, or our laser has to move in the simultaneously x direction and the y direction. For that purpose, XY scanner mirror will be used. That mirror will like rotate the direction of the laser light, so that it can cover the entire contour of the one profile. Once entire one profile scanning will be done, then our this stage will move in the z direction, so that next layer will be printed again. Now coming to the what are the different component, as earlier we have discussed about the, we have the different component like laser source. Here the laser energy is used for the photo curing process. Similarly, resin tank. In that resin tank, all liquid resin will be poured, and then we have the UV curable resin. So this is also our part or component of the SLA process only. And then cured layer. So these are the printed part. So similarly, this is the build platform. It will be moving in the Z direction. Similarly, this is the elevator, and this is the XY scanning mirror. So these are the different component of the SLA process. So similarly, coming to the what are the different steps earlier we have discussed. So these steps is required for the like curing or maybe getting better surface quality of the 3D printing part or SLA printed part. So for that purpose, now you can see that from this photos, first part is dull in color. Okay, so similarly it has less dull. Similarly it has some better clarity, and it has totally clear picture of that printed part. So by doing the post process only this are possible. So here the cleaning of the proper cleaning, proper surface finishing is required, so that better surface finishing, a smooth surface finishing will be. So sometimes we require coloring of the object, machine painting or priming is required. So these all are done during the post processing operation itself. So similarly, coming to the material versatility, so this is having one of the biggest issue in the SLA 3D printing process. As till now, there are only certain set of the material, photo curable material are available in the market that can be printed only. So that's it is one of the limitation of this 3D printing process. All material, all liquid material can't be printed, as all liquid material will be not photo curable. So similarly, what are the other properties of this material will be there? Soft resin will be there. Similarly, hard resin will be there. Similarly, the filled resin will be there. Sometimes we can see that in the resin itself, some a nano material or some other foreign material will be filled, so that some specific properties of the printed part can be achieved. Or maybe like sometimes ceramic material will be mixed in that liquid resin itself, so that we can get the better mechanical properties. Now coming to the testing and characterization. So the various testing and characterization of the printed part is required. So coming to the mechanical properties testing, so tensile test, compression test, flexural test, bending test, hardness test. Similarly, we have to improve the surface finish, So for that we have to measure the surface roughness of the printed part. So similarly the delamination analysis is required, as we know that in 3D printing one of the biggest issue is the delamination or layer separation from each layer. So for that one has to go for the delamination analysis of the 3D printed part. So similarly one can find out the how much the bond strength of the 3D printed part is there, so that can be identified. Similarly the microscopic inspection also required, so that one can see the what are the microstructural defects present in the 3D printed part, that can be seen. So similarly coming to the applications, this is one of the important aspect of the SLA 3D printing process. One can go for the utilization for the engineering application. So day-to-day life product can be manufactured using this 3D printing part. Similarly, one can go for the dentistry application, like maybe making of the mold. From that mold, that part can be printed, and teeth can be made. So similarly educational purpose, this can be also used. Some like model can be developed, that model can demonstrate some concept, for that purpose can be also utilized. Similarly it can be used for the jewelry. Nowadays this SLA 3D printing widely used in the jewelry industries, because they need very precise dimension of the jewelry item. So for that, here the mold will be first printed, and in that mold the jewelry item will be molded as per the requirement or as per the shape and size and design. So similarly coming to the manufacturing, so in manufacturing also widely nowadays it is also widely used. Similarly the other application includes the healthcare application. Nowadays if you go for the many hospital, big hospital, you will find out many 3D printing equipment or 3D printing machines are available, because they require sometimes customization is only possible using 3D printing process, because in 3D printing process we are using the CAD design. So as per the like fractured area, so CAD design for the fractured area will be designed, and the same part will be printed. So similarly, it can be used for the entertainment area. Many part can be used for the using this process. So I would like to thank you one and all listening, and thank you everyone.